right, let's face it. Sometimes we love social media and sometimes we hate it, but we can't change the fact that that is the primary way that we communicate, especially as entrepreneurs trying to sell our books and market online. It is your opportunity to present yourself to your readership. So, it is a powerful tool that can be used, and for the most part, it's free. Whether or not you choose to engage in any kind of paid services is completely up to you, but you are going to want to build an online presence. You're going to want to decide which platforms that you want to have a presence on and how you're going to present on each of those platforms, and creating specific content for each platform. So, one of the first ones that comes to mind is the one that's probably been around the longest, which is Facebook. It does have a really broad demographic. It usually is a slightly older audience, 30 to 65 years old. Whenever you're talking about social media in the current climate, it is kind of the dinosaur in the room. I do like to use Facebook. I get a lot of good engagement from Facebook. So I do have an author page there that I frequently use and frequently post to. So things that you can do on there is obviously have your author page with regular content. You can join groups, book related groups. You can join author groups. You can join reader groups. And engage online there to build your platform. You can do live videos. You can do Q&A sessions. I don't do a lot of videos on Facebook just because it's not really. I don't classify it as a primary piece of content. If I'm doing videos, you're probably looking at YouTube, Reels, or TikTok for videos, but we'll go into those too. You can also create events for book signings, virtual launches, and any kind of literary events that you want to. So there's a lot of things that you can do on Facebook. Just keep in mind that, it is kind of the older social media engine for marketing. There's also Twitter. Twitter is a very mixed demographic. It is more popular for professionals, journalists, and avid readers. You will find reader groups on there. I think primarily what I find on Twitter is connecting with other authors more so as a networking type of platform on there. So doing your quick tweets and your updates, and talking with people online mostly about writing, making sure that you're using your hashtags are very critical to Twitter. And I have some examples if you go out to my blog on some popular writing hashtags that you can use. You can create threads. So if you wanted to have a more in-depth topic that you wanted to talk about, you could do there. And again, it is, making sure that you're engaging with that audience and you're retweeting and making contributions to the community. It's also very fast paced too, so you kind of have to keep up with Twitter whenever you're doing and keep abreast of the trending topics on Twitter. Instagram, you're looking at your younger demographics. So you're looking at your 18 to 35-year-olds primarily, and it's a highly visual platform. So on here, you're going to want to make sure that you have compelling images to go along with any kind of texts or links that you're including. Instagram Reels are very popular. Those quick snippets of information provided in videos. Seems the younger generation have a very short attention span, and so if you can feed short morsels of information in the form of either a digital graphic or a video, that seems to go best on an Instagram platform. So you can do the posts, you can do stories, reels, all of those things are available. YouTube also has a very broad demographic. It focuses on longer form content. So I do try to keep my videos though below and under the 10-minute range. Anything longer than that, people don't really like to pay attention to it unless it's a very niche topic and you have a very loyal fan base. If you're trying to build a fan base, make it a little short and sweet, condensed, make it, personal. It is hard to kind of talk to a camera and hope that there is somebody on the other end that's eventually going to watch it. But, that's something you can do. So you can have your author channel. You could do interviews on YouTube. You could do live streams, playlists. The other thing that you can do, usually if I'm doing Reels or TikToks, YouTube Shorts, you can also put on there, which is it's kind of a newer platform within YouTube. It's for the shorter content, the shorter time span content, those short little quippets, that's why it's called shorts, to utilize that. So if I do a TikTok, a lot of times I'm going to upload it to Instagram, which is also going to go to Facebook automatically, and then it's going to go to YouTube Shorts as well. So just making sure you're covering all your visual content as well, your video content. So your TikToks, a very young demographic, typically 13 to 30 years old. It's highly engaged. It's the short form content. Again, the short videos. One of the big things, for the longest time, I wasn't on TikTok. I found it very intimidating, and I thought I'm just going to be the old person in the room that everybody's going to ignore. There are older generations getting on TikTok now, but somebody brought up BookTok, and I didn't realize how huge BookTok was, and so there are hashtags associated with that BookTok community for sharing, recommendations, reviews, reading challenges. There's a lot of things out there that you can do. And it seems to be the newer platform where people are going viral, especially authors are going viral. And a lot of times they become bestsellers on BookTok. Generating those sales, and several of them have even gone traditional publishers have picked them up because of the readership that they've picked up on BookTok. So it's a huge market out there, and something, if you're not on TikTok or you feel overwhelmed by it, you should get out there and at least maybe dip your foot in the water and give it a try, see what some other authors are doing out there. You can create short videos. It's really easy to use. It is very intimidating at first, but just sit down and take some time with it and learn how it works. And it is very, very effective, and people are on it all the time. So it is a very effective marketing tool. You want to look at the trends and the challenges, participate in those. If you're picking background music, pick background music that has gone viral, that somebody else has used. They've used it in their video's gone viral, and now that it's a really popular music quip or something like that, will help you get views that way. You can do duets with other users and increase your reach that way. It's all about being creative and thinking outside the box and being unique, and maybe giving some of those behind the scenes videos that makes you not just the author behind the book. It makes you the person behind the book who has a life outside of writing and everything. When we're talking about content, it's important to remember that quality over quantity is important. And that's usually because you want to make sure that you're staying relative, and that you have a high quality content that's easy to engage with and builds a loyal audience. It's going to be things that people are interested in liking and sharing. So it's going to help with your engagement. It's also going to help with algorithms. When social media algorithms or even Google is crawling over your website, they are looking at the quality of content that you are creating as well. Do you have a lot of in-website links? Do you have backlinks? Do you have credible links outside of your website? Is it content that is constantly updated? Is it relevant content? And that's how they're going to rank you when people search. So it's important to be mindful of the algorithms whenever you're providing your content. Having that brand and imaging, if it's constant, imaging that's very consistent and precise and high quality, you'll get people coming back, and that's where your retention comes in. They come to you because they know what you're going to get and they know that it's going to be quality. And so that's kind of my approach to social media marketing and building it. So I do have, like I said, I have Facebook, I have Twitter, Insta, I'm on LinkedIn. I know that seems like a weird one, but that's a business asset, and I didn't really talk about it in here. I'm on YouTube and TikTok, and I use Canva. I pay for the pro version, and I schedule content out there. I schedule a lot of content, but then my more personal content is sprinkled throughout the year, and just adds flavor to, and that's where it really boils down to the type of platform that you're posting on what kind of content that you would post. For example, people love content on my dogs, or if I'm fostering puppies. So if I do videos on TikTok, I usually get tons and tons of views for any kind of funny dog content or anything like that. People love animals. It's very popular. It doesn't really have anything to do with books, but it is something that I'm passionate about. And so it's me being upfront and sharing a piece of my life with my readers. So it may not always be book related. It's behind the scenes, them realizing that you're not this author on a pedestal. You're a real person. You have real things going on in your life. Make sure you keep it positive, and monitor your page for any kind of negativity that wants to kind of creep in. But be mindful that even negative comments are still comments and still give you a positive outlook whenever the algorithms are looking at engagement on your page. I just try to monitor and make sure that I keep all the negativity at bay. I like for my social media to remain fun, informative, and upbeat. So, and again, that's your voice as an author. You decide what you want on your platform and how you want it to look and how you want people to interact with it. So we'll talk about that probably more in branding and whatnot. So get out there and get involved.